to show you with one of my dogs some leash handling drills that you can work on. So your dog, the precursor for this is that your dog understands leash pressure. When you put pressure on the collar, your dog comes towards you or towards the pressure and doesn't pull away from it. So a practical example of when you would use this, you decide it's beautiful weather, you decide you want to go downtown Kingston to the waterfront. It's busy, there's people around, and your dog's walking on your left side and you meet someone on the sidewalk. You need to move your dog to the other side of your body, to your right side, easily. That's where leash pressure comes in. You can just easily guide them to the other side of you. No big fuss, no big deal. You don't even have to stop walking to move them. And before I demo these a couple leash drills, I just want to talk more about leash pressure for a sec. You may not think it's a big deal, but what happens is, so you think your dog's trained in the house, you've got treats, there's no distractions, your dog is listening perfectly. What happens when we meet in class, whenever we do get together, and all of a sudden your dog is overexcited because he sees another dog or another person. He no longer wants to take the treat from you. And two, he no longer listens to voice commands. He may tune all those things out because he's so focused on the dog or the person or whatever, the squirrel. That's where you have your leash pressure. That's your backup. When your dog doesn't listen, you can still communicate to them with your leash pressure. You can get, I'll demo, you can get your dog to change directions, move sides, position their body however you need. You can do a sit, a down, a come, without saying anything to your dog. You do not need to speak to them and they will listen. So that's why we need to practice leash pressure. It's your backup, your safety when your dog doesn't listen or doesn't want to take treats from you. Okay? So I'll get my dog and I will demo a couple little leash handling drills and I'll show you how you do, what else you can do with leash pressure. Okay, guys? I'll put this over here. Cedar, come! Okay, River Place. Down. Cedar, come. Cedar, come. There you go. Sorry, I just had to put Jasper in the house. It's too hot for him already with the big Cedar. River Place. River Place. Down. Okay, sorry. Put the old guy in the house. River's on place. I've got Cedar on leash. So walking down the street, I'm using my front-facing camera, so everything's backwards, but generally you walk with your dog on your left side. I'm walking down the sidewalk, I meet someone, how do I get my dog to the other side? So, leash pressure. So I will turn around so you can see if I'm asking my dog to cross behind. All it is a little the other side, back to the other side. So that's an application of leash pressure. Back and forth. Side to side, just like that. I can also see she's a little bit far from me. If I'd like her to be a little bit closer, I can use leash pressure to guide her closer to me. Good dog. Also, just some other things, some other drills that you can do to get your dog listening to leash pressure, changing sides and going to heel on both sides. So just using leash pressure and guiding them in front and then back to heel position and then back to the other side, out and around, back to heel. Good girl. Back to the other side. Good girl. You can do that stationary and you can do it while walking, and then the other one you can do is just orbits. Getting your dog to go all the way around you while you're walking. So when you're getting really good and your dog's getting really good at leash pressure, you can start doing more things. So practice those. I want you guys here. I want you guys to practice those. So getting your dog to go from one side to the other behind you with just gentle leash pressure. You can start with that, and then back to the other side, and then practice it while walking. Then I want you to do your kind of like a half figure eight, I guess, to both sides, stationary, and then while walking, I'll show you while walking. While walking, back, while walking, good. And then your orbits all the way around. Good dog. And you can do that stationary and walking, and you can do it both directions, okay? So that's what I want you to practice this week, is those three little things. So back and forth behind you, to the side, both ways, and then your orbits, okay? But I'm just gonna demo, I'm not gonna say anything to Cedar, I'm gonna demo a sit and a down. You're not to do this yet, but I just want you to understand that we can communicate with our dogs through the leash, okay? All right, so that's where we're going with this, is being able to do all of our stuff out in public without having to say things to our dogs and without having to always have treats on us. Okay, guys? So practice up with your leash pressure, and we'll talk soon.